Hello. We're doing a get ready with me kind of vibe. Sorry, I have my fan on. I feel like I'm in a Britney Spears music video because my hair is just like... That's fierce. Anyway, so before I started doing my makeup, I went through everything I had and I made a designated drawer in one of my makeup organizers that's full of products that I want to use. So I'll show you right now. This giant, almost overfilled drawer is everything that I want to use going forward, like products I should play with more or use more. So there's that. But I also grabbed, sorry, I'm kind of just moving things around. These are the products I'm wanting to use today for my look, like for sure, like I want to use. So for eyes, we're gonna play around with these two palettes. We're gonna play around with this Shimmer Strips palette from Physicians Formula, and then we're gonna play around with the Smoky Beauty Trace palette. So we're gonna play with both of these, and then for liner, I'm gonna mix two different shades. I'm gonna mix Costa Riche Eye Kohl from MAC, and then I'm gonna, on the outer part, I'm definitely gonna use Empire from Urban Decay. This is like a satin purple Costa Riche. I need to use this pencil more because it is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, okay, because like I kept getting black pigment on my hands and I was like, okay, what's going on? It's because there's something on my concealer. Anyway, and then for the face, for cream blush, I'm gonna use my Morphe Cheek and Thrills palette in Wine and Dine. My favorite shade to use is this guy in the middle, this like shimmery berry color. It's so pretty, and on my complexion it's fabulous. And then on top, I'm gonna use my Holiday Hourglass palette. This is the Ambient Lights. This is the Jellyfish palette. I got this, I don't know, I think I want to say like 2 years ago, but very well loved, kind of. I used to use this to set my concealer, but I'm going to use, I'm thinking just any of these three, but I kind of want to use that bronzer. I don't know, I have a very strict bronzing routine that I've been doing. I kind of don't want to mess with that because I've been really happy with how it's been looking recently. But I'm going to use my Glitter Puck from Half Magic in the shade, I'm pretty sure it's Dopamine Sparkle is the shade. I bought this forever ago. I never use it. I need to use it more because it's actually really pretty. And then Pearlescent Glow from Dior. I bought this 3 years ago, something like that. As you can tell, it's well loved. This is a highlighter that is essential for me. I've used it a lot at my time at Ulta. I want to use it again because I almost forgot I had it. Tragic, I know. That's pretty much it as far as products I'm wanting to use. I feel like there was one more thing though. Let me grab it. I was right. So this Langmani, I've talked about these before. These lip glosses, this shade I feel like I want to use more. I think it'll pair well with everything else that's going on over here, but I'm just gonna film a little bit of me doing my makeup. I already did my brows and my skin prep, but I'm just gonna do the eyes and we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. One more thing I was gonna mention. So this has been my tried and true eyeshadow primer, as some of you might know, the 24-hour Extend Eye Base from MAC. Oh, okay, because I was like, how much? Because I bought a new one and it's the same amount of products, so that's good to know. But I ended up buying this About Face Shadow Fix, just because I've heard pretty good things about this formula. I'm pretty picky when it comes to eyeshadow primer. This has been my tried and true. It lasts a really long time, but I'm giving this a try because I want to find more affordable options because this guy pushes $30 and I am not trying to spend $30 on eyeshadow primer. So this one was only, I think, $15, which is not bad. It's very thin. I applied it on my lids. I'm gonna use it today just because I want to see how it works. I like it so far. I mean, yeah, it doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my lids, which is good. It applies really thin. So I just hope it works well. So we're gonna find out today. So first, in the crease, as like a transition shade, I'm thinking of using one of these shades. I think I'm gonna go for this like taupe cool tone color. So I'm gonna grab my, I'm using a different, what's the word? I guess shadow shield. I wear cluster lashes, that's why I use these guys, just to make sure the lashes aren't dirty when I apply my eyeshadow. Yeah, so I'm just stumped on what brush I want to use. Honestly, this Morphe Ariel blending brush has been my latest obsession as far as like crease work, so I think I'm just gonna go right in. We're gonna do that. So I'm just tapping it on the brush. Well, whoa. Okay. A little more pigmented than I was expecting, but honestly, I do not have any problems with that. Whoa, okay. This eyeshadow primer feels really nice, actually. It's very, I don't know, since it's not super tacky, I feel like the blending's honestly a little easier, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I do love my MAC primer, but my one thing about it is that since it's so thick, it can be a little tricky to blend sometimes. But it wears fabulously. But I think in theory this guy should be a good option as well. So far it's performing pretty nicely. Yeah, I'm just going in with that shade, focusing it on the crease. Yeah, so far this formula isn't too bad as far as a primer. And one thing that I've been doing recently with my brows is I used to put on a pencil and then carve them out with concealer. I haven't done that in a while, but I started doing it again, and honestly, like, it just makes my brows, for me at least, it makes them look so much more refined. And honestly, like, my makeup is not too far off from drag, so honestly, like, I don't know. If it looks more like drag, honestly, if anything, it just makes me happier. Okay, but I blended out with this more fluffier. Okay, they do have numbers. I've had these brushes for years and I didn't know they had numbers on it. So this is the A20, this is the crease brush, and then the one that I used to blend out the shadow is the A11. So I've just been like sweeping it a little bit. But I really want to use this like auburn color that's really shimmery. I really want to use that, but I also want to, I'm gonna go in with this palette though, my Physicians Formula. I think I'm just a little stumped with like how I want to apply everything, but I'm gonna go in with my She Glam Powder Foundation and just blend out the edges. I usually grab this really old crease brush from Eco Tools. I think I got this at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx like a million years ago. But it's my favorite brush to blend out eyeshadow. I really love this color. It's like the perfect crease color, like cool toned brown taupe-ish color. That's really awesome. Again, unfortunately, I feel like colors like that are so hard to find these days. I feel like that's why I find myself purchasing a lot of like discontinued makeup on eBay, is because a lot of brands just don't come out with the stuff that I want to use. So I don't know, because I do have like a neutral to warm complexion, but I still just love cool tones because I feel like they have such a unique look and they just remind me of the 90s. So that's why I feel like I find myself using those shades a lot. But how are you guys doing today? What's something that has made you smile today? Feel free to pop that down in the comments below. My favorite question to ask people is like, what are 5 things that have made you smile today? So if there are 5 random things off the top of your head that have made you smile, put it in the comments. I would love to hear. I love hearing about what makes people happy. It makes me happy. So yeah. But yeah, I really want to go in with that Physicians Formula. I just don't know what color I want to use. I'm thinking this guy in the middle, because it's like kind of, well, not offensive, but I guess not offensive. Let's see here. This is kind of gonna be, I guess, more of a casual video too, so yeah. I'm gonna use this crease brush, this tapered blending brush from, I think, Ipsy. I'm pretty sure my mom gave it to me years ago. But I'm gonna go in with that shade in. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I got a call, so the camera cut off on me, but I'm just going in with that shade in the middle, and I'm bringing it on my upper crease, so I'm just blending it into that other shade, and I like how that looks, so I'm gonna continue to do that. Also, if you hear that kind of annoying squeaking sound outside, it's our fence outside. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just being weird, so I apologize for that in advance. But yeah, I like how this looks so far. It's very pretty. But now that I have those shades on, I'm really thinking of using that auburn color in the outer part, so we'll do that. But the question is, what brush am I gonna use? I kind of want to use this brush too, but I also would prefer to use something a little more precise. So that's when this guy comes in, this random Amazon brush that I've had years ago. I do kind of want to get some new brushes, but I have so many. I feel like I don't need new brushes, but I've always wanted the Sigma brushes. Those are really good, from what I've heard. I've always wanted to use Sigma brushes, but again, we're going in with that auburn shade. I'm just gonna bring it in the outer part and blend it in the crease a bit. Yeah. Oh, this one on my cheek. What is that? You guys see that? My face okay? I think so. Who knows what it is. God, this color is gorgeous though. Yeah, it's like a warm auburn, but it's got like a little bit of a sparkle to it. Super cute. There we go. I wanted to build it up and put it in the crease more. Go in with that fluffy brush, just blending out the edges. Perfect. Okay. I always have to clean this guy after I use it, especially if there's like a lot of fallout. I just use these to not get as much fallout on my lashes as much as I can, because it's just harder to, well, not harder to clean them, but they just look dirty, and I try to keep my cluster lashes to last as long as possible. And honestly, like, I hate to admit it, these honestly make shadow application a little easier sometimes as well, so it's a cool plus. I will say with the Beauty Trees formula, there is a lot of fallout, but they are still very pigmented. I know I did a video previously on this channel of me doing a demo of the Spring palette, which I still love. I really like that palette. I just haven't had an opportunity to play with this palette or the Physicians Formula one. But now that I have those colors on, the thing about these two is that this formula is a little more sheer, but it is buildable, which I like. I would prefer it to be that way anyway. So we're gonna go back in with this guy, and I'm thinking of doing like the pinkier, like a pinkier nude kind of shade on the lid, you know, very simple. I like to do brighter colors on the lid. I think it just works with my eye shape more. So I'm gonna go in with, there's this shade right here. It's like a really light pinky nude. That's perfect in my book. It's right next to the other shade we used. And I'm just gonna go in right here. But yeah, but you can kind of see what I mean. It's like sheer to buildable as far as the formula goes. That looks good. I like how that looks. Very neutral eye makeup, which I honestly don't always like to do. I love to do colorful eyeshadow, but Sometimes I like to do looks like these because they make it gives me a better excuse to want to wear like a crazy lip. So I like doing that. Yeah, the feel of these shadows is a little firm, but they're pretty easy to blend, so I am not upset at that. I just feel like I want to add more. It just feels a little boring, but honestly I think that's the best we're gonna get, especially considering that we're gonna use these guys after. But if anything, in the inner corner and in the brow bone, once I finish everything else up, I'm gonna likely use this palette. I do like this one more. I think honestly I like the undertones of these shades more compared to the spring palette. Yeah, so let's do liner. We'll do that next. So a little trick that I like to do with pencil liners, this formula is a little more firm, so I'm not going to use this one as an example, but with creamier formulas I like to grab a liner brush and pick it up and then apply it. But I think this one is going to be a little easier to apply since it's just a pencil. But I'm just going to go in, actually I'm going to grab my, where is it, my spoolie. I also like to use a spoolie to put my lashes back, but I'm gonna focus Costa Riche towards the inner part of my eye, like so, and then I think I'm just gonna blend it out with a brush just to clean it up a bit. Again, I don't know what brush to use. I think I have like a smudging brush. I do. This is a Daiso. These makeup brushes are actually really awesome, but I'm gonna use this brush to blend it out a little bit, just to smoke it. What I love about this MAC Kohl formula is that it's so easy to like apply and smoke out. It's a very blendable formula, so I feel like it'd be really beginner user friendly. So I love anything like that. So, but I'm gonna go on the other side. But I love this shade, especially like if you're somebody that has blue eyes, I think you would love this pencil. Or if you have green eyes or just not brown eyes and you have a hard time finding an eyeliner that works for your eye color, get you some Costa Riche from MAC, like, because this color looks good on anybody. Also, it makes a really fierce lip liner. It's really pretty. Yeah, I like how that looks, and since I blended it a lot with the brush, it has like this smoky effect. It looks really cool, so I really like how that looks. In the near future, I should get more pencils from this formula. I actually like it more than I remember, so that makes me happy. So now we're gonna do the, I'm grabbing my MAC 210 and picking up the Empire eyeliner pencil from Urban Decay. I'm just picking it up with that brush. You can't really see me doing that, so I'll show you. I'm just picking up and I'm applying it like a gel liner, if that makes any sense. But again, I'm just grabbing my spoolie, applying it on the lash line. Yep, that's exactly what I was wanting to achieve. And we're not gonna do a wing, we're just doing it on the outer part. Honestly, that's been my favorite thing to do. I remember I did a look the other day with a water activated liner, and I just did it like this, no wing, and I was like, I should do that shape more because I feel like I always do a wing. So again, I'm just picking it up on this brush. I think the one thing about it is like when you pick up gel liners on the brush like this, it's a little hard to clean, but honestly, if you spray some rubbing alcohol on it, works just fine. But I like using the brush because it gives me more control, especially when I'm working near my cluster lashes. I want to make sure that I know where the product is going, you know? Because sometimes the pencil can like get in the lashes and then it's a little harder to clean, and then it's a little tricky to work with. But the brush, I feel like, gives me more control. But I'm going to go back in with this blending brush, and whatever product that might be left on it from the pencil, I'm just gonna blend with. Yeah, I like how that looks. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a cool tone and warm tone, kind of neutral eye. I don't know how well you can see it. Hopefully you can see it okay, but that's what we got going on for the eye so far. I added a little more of the Costa Riche, but I haven't really done a color combo like this. Like muted purple and muted red, brown terracotta looks really good together. I think it's just because they're a little opposite on the color wheel spectrum. It's really cute. I highly recommend trying this out. This actually looks really dope. I like the vibes that are going on here. Yeah, so far I'm happy to report that the About Face Shadow Primer works pretty well. I think what's really going to be the giveaway is how long it wears. But I'm going to do something and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm just going to try it because I'm staying home today. So I usually use my Natasha Denona concealer in the shade P1 for all over my face, because concealer works better for me because I have rosacea. I try to conceal it as much as I can, but this time I'm going to use my Juvia's face concealer all over the face just to see if it wears any better. But I always start under my eyes, so I just did my under eye skin prep. But I'm trying this one out because I really I don't want to buy another foundation or concealer, so I just want to use what I have. I will say it's gonna look really light, but it will oxidize, I promise. I know it looks crazy right now, but that's the thing about this formula from Juvia's Place. It does oxidize a lot, which I don't mind. But at first it looks like crazy on me. But yeah, I used to use this concealer religiously. I try not to, I don't use a lot of concealer just because it creases a lot on under my eye regardless of what I use. My under eyes just get super dry. I think I just need to find a better eye cream, I guess. It looks good. Because I will say, the other day, which I feel like this is obvious, I used this matte concealer palette for all over my face and it looked pretty cakey, I will say. I try not to look too cakey. I like full coverage, but I don't like to look super cakey. So I know it's like whatever, but some things do work. That's why concealer also works good all over my face too, because sorry, I'm like making crazy faces right now, but this is how I do my makeup. This is real life. But concealer usually is more hydrating too, and I do have dry skin, so that's another reason why concealer usually works better for me instead of foundation. And it's funny, I used to use foundation as concealer, but I think overall I've been doing makeup for years, not only professionally but on myself as well, and I think what works best for me as someone that has rosacea, honestly concealer for me works better than foundation as far as coverage and finish. I'm getting a little texturization from the concealer, but I think it's because of the timing of everything that I applied. But I'm gonna do the rest of my face, so honestly I'm not sure how much to incorporate as far as like footage of makeup application, but again, this is like a more casual video, so I guess it's just gonna be, honestly my videos are always pretty casual from what I can tell. Yeah, what I do is I always apply it all over like that, and then I use a beauty blender, and that really helps too. Wow, so far this coverage is really good though. I mean, obviously, like I've had this specific concealer for years, and the finish is very full coverage, which for me I prefer, because I have been eyeballing the Milani foundation concealer, but honestly it's pretty good. It's just, again, it's really light, which I'd rather be light than dark personally. That's just my personal preference, but it does oxidize, so I just gotta wait for it to oxidize. But on camera, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks a little light, but I have used this so much. As you can see, I took the stopper out. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and just get a new foundation, because like I forgot that I'm running out of this one too. Like, I just don't want to, but I think I'm gonna have to soon anyway. Maybe my birthday's coming up this Wednesday, so I'm like, maybe on Wednesday I just treat myself to a new foundation concealer. We'll see. It would be fun to go to Sephora though. I heard that, because I like to get a lot of my favorite brands of concealer are at Sephora these days, but they have a new policy, or not policy, but a new setup for their shopping experience. They're including the silent shopping hours. I think it's every Wednesday and Saturday, but as someone that is on the spectrum, I think that's awesome, because I worked at Ulta for years, and I think the thing I've struggled with the most is like the lighting and how overstimulating it is just to be in there, you know. That's why I'd always come home from my shifts like exhausted on my mind. I mean, everyone does. It's not easy working in the beauty industry, but yeah, Ulta is just so overstimulating. Sephora is too. I don't usually go to Sephora because of how overstimulating it is. So I think this quiet shopping hour experience is a really smart idea, especially for anybody. It doesn't matter if they're on the spectrum or not. Like, I think for people in general, it would just make a more appealing experience. So I'm glad that they started doing that. I think there used to be a thing in retail. Correct me if I'm wrong, but God, this is it's so pale. It's gonna oxidize. I hope so, but from what I know, this stuff does oxidize a lot. Anyway, but yeah, like there used to be a thing where if you had a certain color shopping basket, that means that, hey, don't come up to me, you know, and bother me as far as customer service. So please comment down below if you remember any of this, or if you've worked in the industry long enough to know, because I've only worked in the industry. Okay, I don't want this whole video to be me complaining about how ghostly I look, but the foundation or the concealer is oxidizing a bit, which I expected. On camera, honestly, it looks a lot better than it does in person, but it's okay. I'm applying my Juvia's Place cream bronzer, buttercream. This is my favorite cream bronzer that I've ever used. The color, the finish, I love it. Like, there's glitter particles in it. That's a big reason why I love it so much. But also the color works really well for my skin tone, so it makes me happy. Oh my god, full face Juvia's Place, almost, right? Literally just the bronzer and the concealer, but still. I like to use a lot of bronzer. You know, it's funny, for as long as I've been doing makeup, I used to not like using bronzer. I like never used bronzer, and now I'm like obsessed with it. I don't know why I didn't like it, but I honestly, like, the makeup that I used to do was very new wave, very kind of editorial almost. But yeah, like, I used to not like bronzer. Like, I would apply blush like all over here, right? Like, just on the apples in my cheeks, literally like this much, right? I still use a lot of blush, but I apply it so differently now. I just feel like, honestly, I guess my look recently is more of like that old school glamour vibe. That's very much me and like what I've been into. I guess it's appropriate, but I used to be into like more, I don't want to say chronically online, but I used to be very chronically online, so facts are facts. But now I'm going in with that Morphe blush trio. I'm having a little bit of a hard time opening it. I'm going in with that middle shade. These are actually really nice. I think it was $12 for this palette. Definitely not bad. But I'm gonna do a little bit. I feel like I always go so ham with blush. But I'm just applying it and blending it out. But I really like this color because it just shears out really nicely. But also, like, the finish it gives is just delicious. Like, I just love a shimmery blush. So, very cute. Going in on the other side. I'm so excited for my birthday though. So I'm turning 22. Very excited. Because my birthday's on the 22nd. I've never had like I think it's called a golden or champagne birthday. I'm really excited. I'm just excited to have some flirtinis. I don't really like alcohol, but I love pineapple juice and I love champagne, so just excited to have that, and then eat some really good Hawaiian food that my mom's gonna make. Very sweet of her. And I'm excited to spend time with my family and my best friend and just have a fun day and be silly and chill out, you know? It'll be fun. Yeah, ooh, I really like how that looks. Yeah, again, I don't want to keep complaining about it, but I do look really pale. But to be fair, I use my One Wild translucent powder. I keep it in this really cute Anna Sui container. But the powder itself does have a little bit of a tint to it, so I think in theory it will balance everything out pretty well. We'll see. Hopefully that works out. But yeah, I'm gonna try that out. But also, I use this guy under my eyes and on my nose. We're gonna see how it works. I'm gonna do it off camera because I feel like it, So while I was putting stuff away and while I'm waiting for my foundation to dry or set a bit, because I always let everything sit on the skin for at least a minute before I powder my face, I picked out a lip. So with that gloss I showed you guys earlier, I'm gonna wear Sunset Peach from One Wild. It's just like a frosty coral color. I think those two will be really cute together, and I think it will pair well with what I do with the cheeks and my eyes. So I'm excited to do that and see how it looks. Okay, after some powdering my face and listening to Turia Whack and Easy Fun, the powder on the face with the really pale concealer all over. Coverage is perfect. Coverage is amazing. Doesn't look too cakey. Actually, wait. No, actually it looks pretty cakey up close. I still stand by it. Where is it? My Natasha Denona. This as foundation, you guys, please try it out because it works fabulously. Sorry, I don't wanna complain, you know. That's okay. I think, yeah, I mean, it's just pale, if anything. It's, again, hard to see on camera. In person, even with the powder on, it's still pretty pale. It's less pale, but still pretty pale on me. Yeah. I'm gonna do my brows off camera, and then we'll explore the rest of the face later. Okay, friends, I did my eyebrows off camera, and I applied some of my beauty marks that I like to do. I see why beauty gurus or influencers do the eyebrows off camera. I get it now. It's a little tedious to do something like that on camera, but now I'm gonna go in with, I think before I use these shades for any highlighting, I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. Guys, I kind of want to use the Hourglass one though, because my tried and true is my Giorgio Armani Luminous Skin Silk Bronzer that has foundation on it for some reason. Story of my life. This bronzer has been my holy grail. It's so good. I got it at a cosmetic or luxury beauty store. This was like $15. What? And it's originally like, it was like 15 or 20, and it was originally like 60, which is crazy. But this is actually a really nice formula. I think we're gonna get out of my comfort zone. Let's use the Hourglass one. Let's just use it. But sorry. Usually when I do my bronzer, I use a bunch of different brushes. I always use a lot of brushes, but I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. So we're gonna go in with this Hourglass palette. We're gonna use this bronzy shade, as I mentioned earlier. I do about 2 swipes, and then I pat off any excess. I go kind of like this just to get a good grip. And then I apply. Ooh, I like the shade. Okay. The colors are really nice. and I think it does have a sheen to it. I like to use a shimmery bronzer because it gives a very 2000s look. But honestly, I really like this because it's very... I'm not surprised though. Hourglass is known for having really creamy powder formulas. So it blends really nicely into the skin, which I'm really happy to report on. But I think I'm gonna have to get up close and personal before I do the rest of my face, just to see how shimmery it is, because I'm a little picky about that. So off camera, I did end up swatching the bronzer that was in the Hourglass palette. I briefly swatched on my hand, so I did remove it, unfortunately, but I will say this one definitely has more of a golden glitter shimmer in it, which is why I like it. But what I really like about the Hourglass one is it is peachier, so it's not like super orange. That's my one, I guess, complaint that I have about this one, is that it does give an orange look, which I honestly don't mind. I think it's campy. Again, I like to look like a drag queen, I guess. It's just in my nature. If you know me, you know. But I really like the color of this one, though. So if you want like a very like neutral, peachier bronzer, go with Hourglass. I think yeah, it has the shade name. So it's Lunar Bronze is what it's called. So it's Lunar Bronze. I'm just letting you guys know because I don't gatekeep for the most part. I try not to. So this is Lunar Bronze. If you want I would swatch it, but I keep swatching stuff on my hands and I'm getting a little annoyed of having to remove it. Anyway, that's me. So what I do is to kind of contour and bronze some more, I go in with my Coastal Scents palette, and I use this shade in the middle, this like cheetah print shade. I use it, it's a little darker, but it's got a lot of shimmer in it, which is why I like to use it. So I pick up a little bit of it, and then I don't want to have to hold it while I'm explaining. I just go in mostly on the outer part, because with the regular bronzer I put more of it on than I do this one, because this one just adds a little more depth. So it's like a contour and bronzer situation. But as you can see, I only apply it on my cheek. I used to do it on my chin. Wasn't too big a fan of that. I don't know why I like this look more. I just think it looks very, again, like campy, a little exaggerated, which is why I like it. It's very, I don't know, I just think it's fierce. Okay, next we're doing blush. I'm stumped on which color I want to do, because this one's more of a highlight. These are more blushes. I think I'm gonna go in with, yeah, Diffused Heat. This is a very popular shade from them. I don't want to do a mauve color, but I don't know. Rose Fusion looks, I don't know, I'm gonna swatch it. I don't care, y'all. I have makeup remover nearby. I don't know why I'm being so stingy. So Diffused Heat is really pale. I like this color more. I think it matches more of what I have on already, so I mean, I guess I might as well swatch the bronzer as well. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's a little rosier. Actually, now that I did a bigger swatch of it, it looks more, well, it's got like a mixture, I feel like. It's like a neutral to peachy. On my hand, at least, that's how it looks. I feel like this video has been so chaotic, but I think it's because I had a little more caffeine than I usually do. So I'm going in with Rose Fusion. Oh, so this guy up here. So I usually apply my blush like this. I sweep it up now. I used to do it like here, but now I just like sweep it up. So sometimes I even start from here and bring it out. Again, to me it's very like, I just think it's like old school glamour, which is why I do it. It's definitely not Hollywood, like old Hollywood. Definitely not, because I'm wearing too much makeup, technically, I think, for it to be old Hollywood. But I think it gives more of like a bombshell, like 2000s bimbo look, which is why I like it. Yeah. I did get a matte blush. And then I like to use this IT Cosmetics Unstoppable powder brush. I use it as a blend, like a buffer, a blender. I use it to blend my bronzer, my blush, everything. So now I'm gonna go in with, because I always do a blush topper because I like a lot of shimmer, because I'm crazy. So I'm gonna go in with my glitter puck from Half Magic, as I mentioned, but I'm gonna apply it with a brush just to give it more of a diffused look. So the brush that I usually like to use as a blush topper is this IT Cosmetics brush. The label has worn off. That's how old it is. But it's got a nice, like, tapered, fluffy shape, so it's perfect for this kind of application. So I'm just picking up a little bit on my brush. Oh my god, even the littlest amount goes the longest way. But actually, because I usually apply this with my fingers, look how pretty it looks with just the brush. Wow. It gives a more scattered look, so it looks really natural. Wow, I haven't done that before, because this formula is really interesting because it's kind of like moist in the jar. That's why it comes with this little guy on top. It helps with the moisture. So I thought it was gonna look patchy, but actually it looks really good. Wow. Okay, I highly recommend that, you guys. If you want a more diffused but still glittery look, go in with a fluffy brush. I have this basket in my drawer here that's like products that I reach for or use the most. I have to add, I think I'm gonna add this glitter puck in my favorites drawer. I'm really liking how it looks with this diffused look. It's really awesome. So once I have all my powder products on my cheeks, I go back in with my powder foundation and I use this highlighting brush from e.l.f. And I pick up some of it and I press it. I start from the center of my face. This also helps to just blend everything out. It also helps to add just a little more coverage, especially since I have rosacea. Ugh, it's just so nice. So I do some here and then I do some under. Again, just to blend everything out just a little more. I forgot it was Sunday. It feels like Monday or Tuesday, you know? Next I'm gonna do highlight. And I almost forgot. I grabbed my... this used to be a staple for me. I might make it a staple again, but honestly, it hasn't been a staple for a while because last year for my birthday, I bought myself... I love this palette, the Dior Backstage. 001 Universal. Oh, I love this palette. It's awesome. Especially, I actually used to use the bronzer or bronzy shade in this palette, but I really like this highlighter, so that's why I haven't been using this one as much. But I'm gonna swatch them actually. Fine, we'll do some swatch parties, you know what I mean? I keep getting pigment on my hands. There's something in this drawer. I think it's like loose eyeshadow, loose black eyeshadow, but it keeps getting on my hands. Yeah, the finishes are definitely different. Why haven't I used this again? This is just so glittery. So this is the, this guy. The Pearlescent Glow. Right here. So it's more glittery. I like this one from Dior as well, the Strobe White. It's more metallic-y. Well, I wouldn't say metallic, it's just a finer, more natural looking highlight, but it's got like a goldish kind of shift, whereas this one is just pure glitter, which always my favorite. Okay, it's time for highlight. I love this part. So I tried to preserve it as much as you could so you can still see the Dior logo. It's like barely there anymore, unfortunately, but I just usually apply highlight right here. I like stamp it on. Oh my god, why did I stop using this? I remember why I used to use this all the time now, because it's like, it's just glitter. It's so shimmery. I mean, it is kind of subtle when you blend it out, of course, but oh my god, this is just fabulous. I don't know if I'd bring in my regular, well, I don't know, I kind of want to bring in my regular rotation again. Because as I mentioned, like I have a drawer that's like products that I reach for the most, or like my favorite products, in case I'm not feeling too creative that day. This is gorgeous. Yeah, and then what I usually like to do is I'll pick it up on a smaller brush. This is a, I don't even know, small fluffy brush. I'll pick it up and then I'll do a little on my nose. So I do it like on the tip and then in between like that. I feel like when I apply it like this, it complements my nose shape a lot. So that's why I do it, because I don't contour my nose because I love how Hawaiian my nose is, because I am Hawaiian. And I think it just emphasizes it more. I like to emphasize it. But now, we're gonna go back in with our Physicians Formula palette, and I'm gonna use the palest shade in the inner corner under my brow. I'm really happy to report that I am not having a lot of issues with this eyeshadow primer so far. I mean, honestly, if anything, minor creasing so far. I will probably report back later if I remember to, but so far it's not too bad. But what I like to do with inner corners, I like to use a sponge applicator because it picks up more product. So I'm going to go in again with that, the palest shade in the palette, and then I'm just going to apply it in my, oh, perfect, inner corner. Like, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing, right? But I like to bring it up like that too. Wow. Okay, impact. And then I usually grab like a smaller, fluffier brush and blend out the edges just to soften it a little bit. But I like this color a lot. It's really pretty. It's just your standard pearly white. And then whenever it's creasing under my eye, I usually go in with my finger and just blend it out. But under the brow is my favorite. Just watch how satisfying. I feel like real baddies do underbrow highlight. I think underbrow highlight needs to make a comeback. I don't think people nowadays, I don't really see anybody do underbrow highlight. And I'm like, can we please bring that back? It's just so fierce. And I feel like it just, like, especially when you turn like this, like, you just capture people's attention with a intense, annoying underbrow highlight. Like, I just feel fabulous, you know what I mean? Like, and this color is amazing. I mean, maybe not as pigmented as other ones I've used in the past, but again, blendable. That's what I really like about these Physicians Formula eyeshadows from the Shimmer Strips line. Like, very buildable, so you can do it to your liking. And for me, I of course like it to be as annoying as humanly possible. Yes. Oh. Do you guys in that video of sorry, I'm just like dying because this is like my favorite video on the internet besides Z-Way's interview with Tiffany New York, my queen, my hero. There's this video of Coco Montrese. Like, I think she posted on Facebook or something, but she's like adjusting her boobs and she's like lip syncing to that one Billie Eilish song, but like she doesn't know the words, so she's like it's so funny. Like, but I just love that video because it's so me, like her pushing her boobs up and and then her just like not knowing the words. It's just a vibe. Like, it's just the aura of that video is just so amazing. Like, highly recommend if you need a good laugh, like, go find that video. I don't know where I found it. I found it somewhere, you know. Also, I realized maybe it's because I didn't apply a lot of it. I usually wear more blush, but this Hourglass blush is very sheer. But honestly, I think I just applied not a lot of it, but honestly, like, I had a dream. I don't listen to Billie Eilish. So that's another hint about that Coco Montrese videos, that's the song that she's lip syncing to. Now we're looking for a lip liner for this combo. I like how that was a weird face I made, but I like how that gloss looks with the lipstick. It reminds me of Orgasm from NARS, like the blush. Yes, that's the name of the blush shade if you're not familiar with NARS. Sorry to jump scare you guys like that, but I'm kind of thinking Mauve from Revlon. I really like this color. I don't know, I feel like I use this lip liner all the time, so I'm like, I did recently get Eggplant from LA Colors. Shout out to Miss Roseanne, she influenced me to buy it. This is too dark though. I'm wanting something light or lighter. Yeah, because this, yeah, the e.l.f. one's too dark. What the heck? I'm like, I don't have a lot of like light pink lip liners. Actually, ooh, wait, you guys. I do have this like more nudie lip liner from NYX, Nude. It's literally called Nude. We're gonna use that. Why not? I don't use that one a lot. Let's use it. Also, do you guys, I feel like the rest of this video is just me talking about stuff that makes me laugh. But if you guys watch the show, I think you should leave. My favorite show right now, like honestly, like that show has cured so much that I didn't realize needed to be cured in my life ever since that show came into my world. But there's this sketch, because it's a Tim Robinson sketch comedy show, but there's this sketch where Tim Robinson is like at a baby shower kind of vibe, and like there's this lady with her baby, and he's like, I think the baby doesn't like me because I used to be a piece of shit. And then he talks about how he used to have a Dangerous Nights crew and they would eat like sloppy steaks. I sound crazy right now, and I'm a little crazy, so maybe I do sound crazy. But I'm gonna use this old fucking Morphe brush, E19. This is a really old brush. This was gifted to me from my hairstylist. Shout out to Dylan. He used to do my hair when I worked at Ulta, but he used to be a makeup artist as well. So this is a really, like, this is a relic, but this is my favorite lip pencil. Anyway, so back to sloppy steaks. So, the sloppy steaks are a thing they would get at a restaurant, but sloppy steak is literally just like, it's a steak with water dumped on it, and it's really, really good. I'm sorry, guys, like, honestly, but this video is so unfiltered because this is just who I am. Like, I laugh at stupid things. I've laughed at things that aren't even funny since I was a kid. No, but that show is funny, so that's different. But yeah, this is how I line my lips. I like to add a little more emphasis to the bottom lip because it makes everything look more unison. Anyway, why was I talking about sloppy steaks? Oh yeah, my brain is crazy. Anyway, so there's a scene where Tim Robinson's getting a flashback about his Dangerous Nights crew, and there's this restaurant that him and his friends used to frequent. I really like this combo. Sorry, I'm like falling in love with my lip combo. But yeah, for the Dangerous Nights crew, they would go to this one restaurant, they'd order steaks, and then the waiter or the person who owned the restaurant, whatever, like, they knew sloppy steaks were gonna happen. He knew. He was like, guys, no sloppy steaks. And then Tim's like, we're not gonna do it. But then he's like, nothing could stop us from ordering a glass of water and splashing on the steaks. I sound like an idiot right now. I don't care. It makes me laugh, so I'm talking about it. So I'm going with the boss, by the way. So they order the glass of water, and they're like, yeah, let's slop them. So they're like pouring glasses of water on top of these steaks, and then the owner gets really mad because he literally told them not to do it. Comment if you also watch. I think you should leave, or if you're also a fan of Tim Robinson, comment down below your favorite sketch. I love that show, so I have a lot of favorite sketches, but that's just one of them. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do this lip combo more often. I had a dream. I got everything I want. I like this look, guys. It's very simple. Very simple. This came out so much more simple than I expected, but it was a fun opportunity to play with some new product. And actually, the more I look at it, you see how much this foundation oxidized. Concealer, not foundation. But it still looks a little pale. I don't know, guys. Anyway, this is a very unfiltered, very silly video. If you enjoy me being unfiltered and silly, share in the comments. If you didn't like it, be honest. I am always open to criticism. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, life, etc. Yeah. I have another video idea that I have in mind. So yeah, but have a good one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!